Good afternoon, everyone. I'm recording this as I'm sitting in the patio or the balcony of our ocean-facing room on the Royal Caribbean cruise. So just ignore the background noise, but I thought it is great to do the audio recording sitting in this balcony. So, chapter D, doing the daughter-in-law thing. Uh, Before that, there is a short snippet. Why do women have longer lifespans? It is because we express ourselves all the time, thus reducing stress. Or are the men just trying to die earlier to escape the incessant chatter? Okay, chapter D, doing the daughter in law thing. Mummy G is what everyone calls my mother in law. She is fierce, formidable, and fiery, hence a bit like me in some ways and radically different in others. When I was a newlywed, she sat me down and explained two tigers cannot live in the same field. I was a bit puzzled as I had no idea that she was an animal conserv- conservationist. When I kept asking the man of the house about her work with wildlife welfare groups, he gave me a withering look and said, "She means you, and she can't live in the same field." I just shrugged my shoulders and said, "No sweat off my back, darling. As I live on the first floor, she can have the field all to herself." But gradually I realized that Mummy Ji was right. We would be sharing the same fields, though not as tigers, but as the main cheerleaders for the one man out there who technically belongs to both of us. So we might as well shake our pom poms together, which is precisely what a good mother in law daughter in law relationship truly is. All you mummy-Gs beware. If your daughter-in-law claims that she loves you like her own mother, then dal mein kuch kala hai, and that little black spot could very well be rat poison. One day over lunch with a few girlfriends, we started talking about mother-in-laws, and I jotted down a few of their stories. Friend number one said that when she was pregnant, her mother-in-law gave her a picture of Lord Krishna to gaze at, since this would help produce a bony boy. When she produced a beautiful dusky baby girl, mother in law was aghast. Friend number one said, "Mummy, looking at the picture every day didn't help in making the baby a boy, but it sure gave her Krishna's color." Mother in law at that point promptly collapsed. Friend number two recalled that when she was newly married, she went to have tea with her mother in law, who remarked that her beloved son was looking a little grubby and to send him to mommy so that she can scrub him with her own hands till he shines. Into bracket, a fine idea when he was 6, but at 36, this was way beyond creepy. Friend number three had a mother in law. Past tense doesn't mean she is dead, just that my friend had the sense to divorce both her and her son. So this friend who decided that so she had a mother-in-law who decided that her 9-month pregnant bahu breaking a water bag was not a sign to rush to the hospital. Maji proceeded to have dinner, and after leisurely having dessert, announced that it was perhaps now time to leave for the hospital. Friend number four is always complaining that her mother in law criticizes her, nudges her out of the family pictures, grabs the front seat next to her beloved son in the car, and keeps repeating how Shonu, some kind of gross childhood nickname I assume, loves mommy more than anyone else. Friend number five is convinced that her mother in law has bribed her staff. The moment she locks the bedroom door with her husband, ready for some action, Mummy Ji promptly calls on the intercom, asking for her darling son to come visit. We spend the afternoon amidst uproarious laughter, and I probably would have continued making digs at all the Mummy Jis for the next decade. But last week I woke up to this 8 a.m. in midst of stifling a yawn and pulling my dog out from his favorite hiding place. My phone rings. It's my mother-in-law, and she has a complaint. Beta, he came up to the house yesterday. He has become so thin. Why are you not feeding him properly? I'm a bit confused because I have been feeding the dog the same thing for years, and he seems to look pretty much the same to me. As I start protesting, she adds, his favorite dish as a child was makki ki roti and sarson ka saag. I will make it for him today. He's looking very kamzor. Ah, I get it. She's talking about the man of the house. A Punjabi mother, her son, and food form a triad as sacred as Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh and Vishnu, and cannot be interfered with as I learnt in and cannot be interfered with as I learned in the early years of my marriage. I want to tell her that the man of the house has deliberately lost 8 kilos for his next role as a wiry boxer, but it's just nicer to let her send the makke di roti and the saag, especially since it's my all time favorite dish as well. 3 p.m. An old friend from my boarding school days is in town and she drops by for coffee. Monthly ration. She snapped at me saying that I don't understand anything. It is only a symbol to clean India. I told her, then why are we not using the symbol to clean the house? Tell me, Mummy ji, why are we using big vacuum cleaner to clean our house if symbol can clean the whole of India? Mummy ji always wants to show everyone how we are so modern with all these different machines and all. If we are modern people, we would use only iPhone 6, not all these other cheapo phones. She thinks from my room I can't see her on the balcony, but I can. Always sitting drinking coffee and reading Economic Times. At this age, she should be reading Bhagavad Gita or newspaper, you tell me. I'm staring at her in shock and horror because I have this vision where our son will finally get his wife home. She will place hideous red cushions on my sofas, never polish my silver tea set, will feed my son his favorite fried chicken by actually deep frying it and not in the Philips oil free air fryer machine like I do. And she will stare at me when I'm sitting in the balcony drinking copious amounts of coffee and reading my Asimos. Because one day soon enough I will be a mummy too. One always looks at this age old mother in law daughter in law battle from the daughter in law's point of view, but I realize it must not be easy to be mummy as well. I hastily whip out my phone and delete the mother in law joke that I had made up and posted on Facebook. God could not be everywhere, so he created mothers, and the devil could not be everywhere, so he created mother in laws. And I upload my new motto, do unto another as you would want a future other to do unto you. So let me know, everyone, in the comments section, how did my book club friends feel this doing the daughter-in-law thing from Twinkle Khanna's Mrs. Funnybones book. I think Twinkle Khanna, the author, has presented the other side of the story. We never look at the other perspective or other standpoint. So this is a good way to look from a mother-in-law standpoint as well. And not just that, anytime we are often when we are having a discussion, we should look at what the person in front of us, what are their thought process, what is, we have to try to look from their perspective as well. We would understand things more better and we can start thinking at a global level. So try to implement this in your life and it will pour in more peace and happiness. Have a wonderful listening to these chapters, everyone, and we can discuss all of this in our next book club meeting. So the next story is chapter E, Eureka Mom, I Can Make Anyone Pregnant Now. Goodbye.